Sorry, the microphone was not on, but I wanted that picture to stay there, like to not give up, because that is what happened, like when you have like a real major depression, and you feel like you go to, you could say, like the bottom of the depression, and it's so hard because even if you have children, and maybe a supporting partner, it's so hard, like you feel like they would be better without you, and that feeling is so hard, it's the hardest feeling I had in my whole life. Like I suffered a lot in life, I can tell you, like abuses, bullying, or whatever you can imagine. I suffered that, but like that the sun will come. Yeah, like you don't see it when you're there, you only see like the darkness, right? You're worthless, like, but the sun goes up. I don't know how many depressions I had in my life. I even stopped counting them by now. It's like I hadn't had a depression now for many years. Beside last year, I had a fall down, you could say. But what I did is that around 2014, I think, I was like, every year I had this depression, but I still worked. I just partied a lot because that was the thing, how I handle it. So what happened was that Pam was pregnant with Nicolas, and she said, "You need to stop the drinking. You need to stop the party. Like you can't be on tech house doing your parties with your friends like 3 4 days per week. Like you're going to become a father, right?" And that hit me really hard. So I tried different things, to change, and what I did was like mindfulness helped me most, actually, to reflect before I act, to calm down, to anchor myself in life and be thankful for what I have. So I went many years without like a depression then, and then last year I hit a bump on the road, you could say. But that is the thing that I made my blueprint. It's like everybody needs to do their blueprint in life to heal, to handle themselves, I would say, because life is hard. Life goes up, life goes down, and you will hit a lot of like troubles during the way that you need to pass, right? Maybe your company is going down, COVID came, maybe you need to shut down your restaurant. All this stuff affect our mind, right? Like we're not superhuman. Like Tony Robbins is not a god, Elon Musk is just a human. I don't look up to nobody. Yeah, I look up to Frank Carvajal, I would say, for having the biggest man with integrity, and I would say combined EQ and IQ on LinkedIn today. And I have met a lot of people, my friends, and that is who I look up to. So that is the thing, you need to find yourself and understand what triggers you. And for me, I would say that what happens when, like, for me, a depression is starting is usually like warning signs that I can't sleep, and I'm not having fun at work. Like, usually I always have fun at work. I work only with fun stuff, because I found my passion, so I follow it all the way, right? But I feel anxiety going to work, and that is a big warning sign for me, because then my sleep goes down more and more. And usually I only sleep 4 or 5 hours, and it's not intentionally. I was born with something, I don't know what, genetically, but that is how I'm wired. Don't follow me, please. Like, don't do that. Don't work as much as I do. Like, for you it will not be healthy, maybe because you're not wired like that. I'm wired like this. I was born like this. Yeah, so what happened is that there is two major factors, I would say, to why I don't feel good in life when I go to work. And usually it could be like a bad relation or a toxic relation with somebody, maybe like somebody I work with that for some reason it doesn't work out. And that is kind of what makes things worse in my life. Is it's negativity, I would say, like bad relation, toxic people or leaders. Yeah, so and I'm this guy that I learned how to fight back to the bullies. I know how to take a good beating, and I can give you a good beating if I need to, but I don't stand for violence. I stand for, I would say, self-defense, my friend, and protect what is mine. And I will let you know, don't touch what is mine, and please don't bully people around me. I don't tolerate that. So what happened usually when I entered big corporates as a consultant to help them build teams, and then I was like trying my wings, the head of front end design, UX, digital culture evangelist. I had all these roles, you could say, but usually I always had a leg in company culture. And what happened was that usually they came with this kind of issue that this leader, Eduardo, like he's behaving badly, right? Like I said, I don't like that. So I have no issues telling you that I don't like something. Like I will tell you in your face. I will not beat you up, like nothing like that. But I will let you know, you're breaking our values. We have values in this company, and I expect everybody to follow. I don't care if you're the CEO of that company. I am being there. I'm there. You have hired me for whatever reason you have, given me a contract to do something, but I don't tolerate people misbehaving, because why should we? Why should we tolerate that other people misbehave us because of role and position? Like, come on, get real with me, please. We're just, like I told you, we're just humans. Like I don't recognize any hierarchy at all. I could tell you that is negative. I recognize positive hierarchy. That's a difference, my friend. That's the opposite of toxic leadership, micromanagement, I would say. So usually these leaders some misbehave, and then for some reason somebody comes to me because they know who I am. So then I have to go and talk to this person. I like ask like, what is the issue? Like, what is happening? So anyway, so what I discovered, this is really important, from even from what science is telling us when it's come to like toxic leadership or toxic leaders. Reptilian behavior is also another really good expression for this, actually, is that usually they're not psychopaths. There are very few psychopaths, like full-blown psychopaths, that reach the highest level, I would say, of leadership in big corporates. What happened is that usually big corporates don't have a strategy for this. Like, they have HR, right? That stands for human resource. But what they should have also, I would say, I don't taking the HR part away from big corporates, but what they should have is human relation. That is what they need. They need to teach people how to behave to each other. Now they say, no, Eduardo, but we hire only top leaders in this company from McKinsey. So what? That doesn't say anything. Maybe the person you hired like come from a very toxic environment, right? It's okay to treat people bad. It's okay to yell at people in front of others, humiliate, burn out people, micromanage them. Maybe it was okay. So then you take this person just because they have their MBA from Harvard. I could care less when I hire people about that, I can tell you. I want the best people, my friend. The best people don't misbehave to each other. They are amazing. They will attract new people. So that is this is how it plays down. That I have to talk to this person, and then like yeah, I usually start my conversation just like asking how are they doing, because maybe they're having a hell in life. We don't know, right? So I try not to judge. And I learned that very quickly because I was very judgmental in the beginning. I confronted people very harsh, like, hey, we have values here, like, don't do that. But now I don't do that anymore because I realized handling some cases that maybe they were misled. Maybe like this leader in a big corporate I was being in, uh, he was so nice to me, but some other people didn't talk so good about this leader, and I got very curious, like, how can that be? This is such a nice person. So what happened was that I had a talk with this person, and yeah, and then like it was more like, okay, maybe it's the other person's also involvement. Yeah, and that's another thing. You yourself can trigger the bad relation. Maybe you're an annoying person, right? So you're like blaming your behavior on the leader, maybe. So the leader is just he had it with you. Maybe you're like I don't know, you're doing stuff that you should not do, that this leader like freaks out, right? Oh my god! And then they have to handle you. So you need to look in yourself in the mirror. Also, in any situation, I would say. And I'm far from perfect. I do a lot of stuff that annoy people. I bring my mood everywhere I go. And if I'm a bad mood, like everybody, like okay, then the environment become dark. If I'm in a good mood, it's a party when I enter anywhere, like a company or like a club or whatever, right? I'm this guy that affect people's feelings, you know. So I'm very conscious. I'm really careful now today to not bring my feelings to anywhere. Like I'm trying to be neutral, trying to just be calm, Eduardo. Now most people are not like aware of their themselves. I would say they go on this thing called autopilot. They don't reflect, they don't do any kind of self-awareness, active practices actually. So they're like wired to the matrix, and when you're wired to the matrix, it means that you're led by the media, you're led by, I don't know, whatever you're led by, but you're not leading yourself. That's a huge difference, my friend. That's a huge difference. Like when you lead yourself in life, not led by others, not affected by the media, that's a huge difference. So most people, I would say, are living in the matrix, just following, thinking that everything they write, that is reality. Like they need to look good, they need to have a fancy car, or whatever they need to feel good with themselves, right? I don't need nothing of that, I can tell you. I just need, you know what I need to feel good? I need to be a good father. I need to be a good leader. That's what I need. The only thing I need, I can tell you. I need to feel good with myself also, with my traumas I have. I have more healing to do in the world. Yeah, anyway. So this so-called leader that I thought like there's nothing wrong with this guy, then suddenly something happened and he did something to me, you know, like of all people, like and he did it badly, I can tell you. Like he really like he did the whole show. Yeah, like he yelled at me, and I was in shock because I did never expect that this person would like do this outburst on me, right? So I like just looked at him. I was like, what is happening? Like, am I dreaming or what? So I did nothing, you know. I did nothing. I usually would like, hey, yeah, like now you calm down, you know, before I get really pissed off, you know. But I did nothing, my friend. I was like, I was just taking it, you know, and it was not like I had doubt or anything. It was I was so in shock that this person that I liked so much went on or off on me of all people, right? So that person just went away, you know, and I was like digesting it. I like what the heck just happened, right? Anyway, so I had to do what I had to do. And so this person had to come and say forgiveness so after, and then we had this talk, and this person almost like crashed in front of me, like telling me that, you know, like his father more or less was a Nazi, you know. So that is how he was brought up, to teach to how to treat other people, right? And that is the problem we have, like with MBA and leadership schools. They don't teach these things, you know. They don't teach humanity. They don't teach human relation, and that is what we need most in this world, my friend. If we could teach self-awareness and human relations in schools, I would say from early age, we would probably have less wars because we have more compassion. Yeah, more compassion. So that is how I handle now. Like when companies call me, like to I don't know, like to lecture or whatever, or to help them out with culture issues, leadership issues, is that try to leave all my judgment outside. I try to be super clean in my head and don't take any assumption like whose fault is it, because usually it's like it could be anything, like whoever is coming to, maybe they were causing the issue, right? I have no clue, so I need to figure it out right before I can say anything. And I had to, most of all, I need to stay cool, you know, whatever happens. I can't like, because what happens is if you get angry, and this is what I'm training on, to not go Chilean or not go Mapuche on people, whatever they do to me, I don't want to get angry. That is my ultimate goal. I just want to stay cool, cool, cool. The reason is that when you get angry, my friend, at somebody that is angry at you, you will just alienate them even more, you know. That is what happened, you know. Then the war starts, right? So what we should do is that we should try to do like the matrix. Like that's one way to do it. That I'm training really hard on that one is that when aggression comes against your hate, what you do is that you do like the matrix. You just let them fly by, right? Let them lie like this, and then they pass by, right? Because this is the thing, you have nothing to gain to confront it. Like I'm, and it's coming from me, right? I know how to take a confrontation with any man without hesitation, but it doesn't give you anything. This is my point, you know. You should put all your time in growth of yourself, for your company, your NGO, whatever you have, and put your time with your children and friends, my friend. That is what you should put your time on. So any time or interaction you have with negative people, it's not worth it, actually. It's not worth it, right? So now you don't have any options. Now they didn't fly by. They put their arms like this. So you can't do anything. You need to do the confrontation, right? So now you have only two options, my friend, as I see it. Just listen. What do they have to say before you get angry? Yeah. It's so simple. You just listen to them. What is the issue? Why are they angry at you? And like I said, stay calm, stay calm, stay calm. Let them just get it out of themselves, because maybe it's a misunderstanding. And that is usually the cases in most scenarios when you go into confrontation with anybody, I would say on the street or the wherever you go, like in work, whatever. If you're not like attacked by a hooligan or a gangster or something like that, it's usually a misunderstanding, right? And maybe they didn't reflect before they ambush you. They assume that you did something wrong. So now they're really angry. Anyways, yeah. So for me, the triggers of my depression, like I said, was that when I was in this environment and I didn't know how to handle them. That is what I didn't know before. That took me many years of practice, reading a lot of research reports, books, whatever you can imagine. I have been doing this for many years, like many, many years, you know, without publishing my writings. Like I written, like, yeah, I just published my poetry book. That doesn't be something, but my leadership book, I promised Frank Carvajal it will come in Silicon Valley 8th of October at the Silicon Valley Latino Leadership Summit. Then I will talk about the research I've been doing. I will talk about the strategies that I'm using now to handle these things. And how do we shift? This is the most important part. If you need to like remember what I'm telling you, is that first of all, you need to learn the basic. I would say read Good to Great with Jim Collins. That was like my Bible for years. For years, I can tell you that book is like, oh my God, I wish this book should be given to everybody, I would say, not only entrepreneurs, because it applies to so many things in life. When you need to build something of major importance, higher than yourself, that book is so, so important. Now, when I was like practicing that book, like trying stuff and myself finding my leadership, and then I got very happy because this man Rolf Kenmo, he know all this stuff, and he's doing like leadership tests, like what level are you on Good to Great, right? So I got level leadership 5 actually. That's the highest. And I was so happy because on that level, when you want to reach the highest level of leadership in an organization, you need to be humble, my friend. You need to have compassion. Yeah. So it's the opposite of Wolf of Wall Street, actually. Yeah. You're very misled if you thought that that was the highest kind of goal. Like, read some research, please. So that is, I was very happy, right, about that. So, and going beyond good to great, you need to go to amazing, I would say. That is what I'm writing about. How do we reach amazing? How do we go beyond good to great? How do we take a company to be like, I would say, forever, maybe not in existence, but let's say in memories? People will talk about the experience working for these companies until they die, my friend. That is what I want to build. That's what I want to achieve. That is why I've been doing my research for so many years and trying out things in big corporates, actually, to see what works or not, right? So going to beyond good to great and going to amazing, you need to put human in the middle, my friend. You need to be human-centric organization. Yeah. And there's no room for career people, I can tell you. There's no room for any kind of egocentric. And then they say, oh, What about sales, Eduardo? They are like ego driven. They need. No, they're not. I know a lot of good sales. I've been a top salesperson, my friend. I've been doing key accounting. I cannot do a lot of sales besides doing programming. I'm the digital expert, right? I can tell you like this: most humans have a purpose. Most humans have actually a compassion in their heart, but maybe it's just being locked. It's being blocked by something. So you need to take that out of them. You need to remove that. To put them in we. So in going to beyond good to great, you need to reach something called we. Like every person in a company must understand that we're here for each other. So actually, military leadership, I would say Enrique Acosta Gonzalez, a man you need to check up, one of my biggest, I would say, inspiration and sparring partners when it comes to what I'm going to tell you now is that military leadership actually have more to teach corporate leadership than the opposite. And it's so misunderstood by the common human. They think like, oh, they're just yelling at each other. Like, you're so mistaken. Yeah, they're of course they do that also maybe, but that's not what it's about. It's about, imagine that you if you join the army, like let's say you want to go to Ukraine and defend the people there, you're taking a calculated decision that you're embarking on a mission that is higher than yourself. Yeah, it's higher than yourself, and you're willing to die for that mission, my friend. Now, that is the ultimate sacrifice, I can tell you. If you do that, I respect that. But for me, I always been like that. I am willing to sacrifice myself for what I do any day of the week without hesitation, my friend. I'm not telling you, like, okay, now we're going to die for the company. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that if you're going out to be someplace in a company, you want to join a mission, you want to join something big, you need to give your full heart. And they should value your heart. That is what I mean when I say a human centric organization, my friend. It's a symbiosis between the both, between the ambition of the company and the best for the person that is joining, the individual, because we're all different, my friend. So that is what I'm claiming, that we need a new role in corporates. We need a human relation manager. Yeah. So people like me that get depressions because maybe they're in too much stress and too much anxiety, they will feel much better in this type of environment, right? So that is what I'm doing, is that I'm selecting my life to live and work and earn money and income or whatever only by being me, only by being me. That's the thing. And that is what I'm doing with Entrepreneur Capital, Founders King, and the Founders University. Actually, it's all the same thing, you could say, in a sense. We're using the same resources. It's the same money that is providing for everything. Our money, actually. We're not having any funding. We don't want any VCs. We don't need that because we know how to scale companies without that. So, and we want to have 100% control, I would say. We never want another person or interest because of money to pollute us, because maybe our mind will shift, to do something else just because profit. And that's the thing, with profit, that is what you need to do to survive and grow as a company. So for me, that's not even a strategy, that's a do task. Strategy, my friend, is building an amazing culture, like where everybody can take the flag, and you as a founder, you can like take away. If you want, you can just watch, right? Then you have succeeded as a leader. Else, you're not a leader, my friend. You're a manager. That's a huge difference between leadership and management. Huge difference. For some reason, big corporates don't understand this. They mix this both concept into one. So, yeah. So this, you can say like, oh, Eduardo, you're talking so much here. Like, where do you get this all information? I can tell you like this. There are some people on LinkedIn you can reach out to today that can tell you what is the future of leadership and why we should change. I would say Chris Beswick, the author of Innovation Culture. I had him on Empowering Monday on Eduardo Live. Another person I had in Empowering Monday, Eduardo Live, that can tell you the same. Chris Dyer, the author of The Power of Company Culture. Yeah, yeah. Now you want to talk about healing, well-being, Ipek Williamson, I would say. Check her out. You're going to talk about burnout and comeback, David Aguinter. I talk with so many people. I've been so blessed in my life to have the ability to reach out to people and they want to talk to me, I would say. And the reason I do it is that, like I said, I want that is for my research, for my book that I want to write, that I'm going to talk about how do we evolve companies good to great to amazing by having human centric as a strategy, like putting the person in the middle. So for me, this is like I've been doing it for so long time now. So I could talk, I can give you numbers all day if you want. Generation said like the future of like our children, they are actually going to suffer more for less well-being. They're going to have more depressions, more anxiety, get more labels in life than we got. Yeah, and that is one of the major reasons that we need to change the workplace. We need to humanize it because if we don't, we will have more sick leaves. We will have less productivity. For me, that's like economy people that are so fixated on numbers. I can give you some numbers so you wake up, my friends. Like I said, I'm a businessman also, right? So I do want to earn money, right? But not at any cost, my friend. Not at any cost. That's the difference between me and Wolf of Wall Street, I would say. I have conscience. I have a big conscience. So that is the thing. Check out these people. My book is coming, Silicon Valley Leadership Summit with Frank Carvajal. It's called The Digital Culture. And it's actually, it started where I started to write why was not big corporates understanding the digital part? You know, like why don't they were trying to become Google, but their spirit was something else, right? They came from services, I would say. And hierarchy, a lot of hierarchy, bank directors. And that was a fun experience for me being in fintech. I can tell you at the Norwegian Stock Exchange, CSD, as a leader, that was a fun experience, I can tell you. But I will tell you like this, fintech is changing, leadership is changing as we talk. There's a big shift that will go where I claim that the only way to go with corporates is this: people first, process second, technology last. And you want me to explain why? It's so simple, you know. As long as it's people that are creating the companies and the products that people either hate or love, they should matter the most, my friend. As long as it's people that are buying, paying for your product and not robots or whatever, they should matter the most. It's so simple. Like this equation can't even be debated. Like I can't even debate it. Like what can you say against it? Okay, you can say, oh, shareholders interest, Eduardo. Yeah, come on. That like I said, these are things that these are do's that like if you don't want to have a limited company making money for the shareholders, start an NGO or whatever. But if the owners want to make money, have amazing people, and to have amazing people you need to treat them good. It's so simple, you know. So simple, so simple, so simple. Yeah, so I don't get any so much depressions that I got in the past. I had a depression every year. Now it's, I don't, it's very, I get them like it takes years before I get the next depression, so probably I will get a new one in, I hope that it will be not until 7 more years or something like that. And that is how I do. I found my blueprint. I'm allergic to toxic leadership. I'm allergic to toxic people. I'm allergic to any kind of negativity that is not needed. Stress, anxiety is not an issue. I'm always on the battlefield trying to help companies, trying to, I don't know, get investment for somebody, scaling my ventures, my full, I would say, my own funded ventures that I don't take any investors to. So I'm always trying to solve problems. Like my life, my day is full of problems I need to solve. So do I get anxiety? Of course I get. Do I doubt? Of course I do. Of course, of course. But it's in a controlled negativity that I control. I have the control of that. You know? When you don't have control, when you work for a toxic leader or something like that is burning you out, you can't do anything about it, my friend. Then like change job or whatever. It's not worth it because we can't buy time with money. That's the thing, you know. I have seen love being bought by money. Like, come on, we all seen that, right? It's doable, but you can't buy time with money. It's impossible. You can't come to Eduardo and say, you know what? you treated me badly, Eduardo, so give me back my time that I spent with you for 1 year. It's not doable. I can give you money, right? But money doesn't heal all the scars. That's the thing. Like the biggest asset we have in life today is money. If you ask your children what do they want from you, they want them for you to spend time with them. Yeah, right. So I'm really time conscious, my friends. I calculate my seconds I spend with people so I don't spend it badly or I spend it on the wrong person. I would say I'm very picky. Without being political, I talk to everybody. I even talk to the cleaner when I enter a company. I can tell you, I talk to everybody. All are only humans, like I told you. Tony Robbins, Elon Musk, humans. There is no Superman, Superwoman. They are not immune to depression, I can tell you. Yeah, Tony Robbins is not immune to addiction. Like they are not immune to anything that you're not immune to. Like they say in the vampire movies, you're just an immortal. Yeah, we are. So take care of yourself. Find your blueprint. I don't know what your blueprint is because it's yours. Uh, but I only know that having negativity that is not needed by somebody else, I don't know, like energy suckers or whatever you have around you, that's a big cause to not feeling good, my friends. So start to look around you, your relations. Like, what are you doing? Do you love your work? Like, do you even like what you're doing? Do you really want to be a doctor? Maybe you want to be something else. You want to be a poet? Then do that, my friend. Else you will die regretting. And that has to be the biggest depression you will get in life, my friend. Okay, I have 10 days to live and I wasted all my life being a lawyer, maybe, and I hate law. Maybe I wanted to be a singer or whatever, right? Don't listen to others. Listen only to your heart, my friend. That is what I do. I follow my own path, no matter what anybody tells me. So, peace out. Thank you so much. And if you're having a depression, I'm not your psychologist. Please call them first. But if you're suffering, you want to talk to somebody, especially if you're a leader. I coach leaders with depressions or anxiety or labels that they give them. I don't charge you. I don't. I have money. I do it because people did it for me. That is what I do. So if you want somebody to listen, you're a leader, you have a company, you have a bad time, reach out to me, my friend. Don't be ashamed. I'm not ashamed to tell all my sufferings. I can tell you, nobody have ever judged me for doing that. On the opposite, I get a lot of followers because I'm so open with my heart. So reach out. So I hope if you're in a really deep clinical depression, please do not give up. Don't give up. The sun will come up. I trust me. The sun will come up. Even if you don't see it that way now, I promise you, it's not worth to take the step to the other side. The suffering you will create for the people left, my friend, it will never heal. It will never heal. Talking from my heart because my mother decided not to suffer. After 7 years in a depression that got worse and worse, she decided not to suffer anymore. And that is kind of, yeah, that is what you will cause, if you do that. So please don't do whatever it takes to stay alive, my friend. Whatever. If you have to drink to pass it, then drink. Like, do whatever you can, but never, never, never take the step, my friend, because it hurts. Like, I can tell you, it hurts still today for me. Okay, I wish you the best in life, Eduardo. I'm going to just play the video once again. It was a hard video to make, but it was needed.